In this tutorial, we'll review some of the recent updates in Canvas's new gradebook. So Canvas has released the new gradebook, and it's been available for a while, but now it's becoming the default gradebook option for all instructors and faculty who use Canvas. In any class where you go to grades, the new gradebook format will look like this. You'll notice in the top left-hand area the gradebook, view, and actions section. Each of these are drop-downs where you can find various features. Previously in the old gradebook, they were located on the right side and they were organized differently. Under gradebook, you'll see options like individual view and gradebook history. Under view, you'll see options like arrange by, filters, statuses, notes, and unpublished assignments are various column options. And under actions, you have the ability to synchronize your gradebook with our SIS banner system. It will also tell you the most recent time you have exported your gradebook. You'll also notice that there's a search bar on the side here. This is really helpful if you want to just see one student's name at a time. So I have both of my test students here. So if I just want to see the second student and not any of the other students in the class, I'll just type in test student, and notice it removes the other students in here. So this is an easy way to locate a student from a long list, and it's also a good way to hide all the other students if you just want to see that one student. The new gradebook also has the gear icon over here. From here you can set your late policies. If you have missing submissions and you want to apply the automatic grade that comes in for a student who has not submitted the assignment after the due date has passed, they will automatically get a 0. If you want to select an automatic deduction for late submissions, you can do that as well. So maybe the date has passed, the student submitted it 2 days late, and I want to deduct 5% for every day it's late. And so the student will lose 10% because they've turned it in 2 days late. You can also select the lowest possible grade percent that a student can achieve if they are submitting something several days late, and you can update that here. Another feature in the new gradebook is what's called the grade detail tray. And this is available if you click in any cell for a student in an assignment. When you click in, you'll notice the cursor's flashing with the opportunity to enter a score. And then you'll also see this rectangle with the arrow. If you click on that rectangle, the grade detail tray will appear to the right. It will have the student's name at the top, and this will allow you to grade quickly, and you can alternate between students on any given assignment by selecting the arrow. So I can go from one test student to the next in my example here, and you would have real students that you could rotate between on any given assignment there. Or you could go between various assignments for any given student by selecting the arrows on the assignment level. You can also access the Speedgrader from here as well. You can enter a score, and you can also enter a status. So if the student has not turned something in yet and you have not set up the automatic missing or late rules on that gear icon, you can manually enter whether it was late, missing, or if you excuse them from doing the assignment. You can also leave comments here. As we mentioned with the late, missing, and excused color codes, you can see them displayed here on this gradebook. To change the colors for any of these given statuses, you'll just go to View, Statuses, and you have all of the different statuses that your students could receive on their grades, if it's late, missing, or if they resubmitted something, or if you're dropping the lowest grade from an assignment group, or if you've excused the assignment. If you want to change any of these colors, you can click on the 3 vertical dots and choose a different color. You may also prefer to show the grades as a percentage rather than a set of points. So currently mine are showing as points. To switch them to a percent, I would hover over the assignment name and I would locate the 3 vertical dots. I would click on them and I would go to enter grades as and switch to percent. And then it would not show them as points but as a percent. Now, some people have asked if they can change the total from percentage to points the same way, and you can only if you're using a standard grade calculating process where it's an average of all the points. If you're using a weighted total system, it will not give you this option. So if you're using a system where you're saying tests are worth 30%, homework is worth 20%, etc., that is a weighted system and it can only show it as a percentage. It won't show it as points. You'll also notice that I have this section here that says override. This is a special beta feature in the Canvas gradebook right now, and it may become a more permanent feature. Currently, you have to enable that. So if you want to get the override column, you need to click on the 3 lines and go to Settings, Feature Options, and turn on the final grade override. So it should say on here. When you've enabled it from your settings, you do need to come up to the gear icon, go to Advanced, and turn on the Allow Final Grade Override for this column to appear. What the grade override column will do is if you have a student who has a borderline grade, let's pretend that this was a higher F, maybe it was a 59.99%, and you are trying to work with the student to give them a D grade and they have worked with you for that and you want it to be represented as a D, you can put in that D grade and it will override the F. Now there's a few new additional features in the view dropdown. Under Arrange By, we can now organize all the columns in our gradebook by some new orders. So you can do the default order, which is what you will automatically have. You can do it alphabetically, reverse alphabetically, by due dates from oldest to newest or from newest to oldest. You can do it by which of your assignments have the lowest to highest point value or highest to lowest. Or you can organize it by module from first to last module. So all of the assignments would have to be in the modules page to appear here on the gradebook from the beginning module to the last or last to the first. You can also filter the columns. That would mean that certain columns would not show up when you have this filter on. So if you turn it on and filter by modules, let's say we do it by modules, then I can say which module's assignments I want to appear in the gradebook. So when I say week 1, I'm only seeing the assignment for that week 1 module. I go to week 4, I'm just looking at what's happening in week 4. If you want to turn off a filter, go back to View, Filter, and deselect it. So you can look at them by assignment groups, modules, or student groups. Assignment groups would be if you have grouped all of your assignments on the assignments page based on the type of assignment it is. So if you only want to see the quizzes, I have 2 assignment groups. I have assignments and quizzes. So if I click on assignments, it's only showing assignments. If I click on quizzes, it'll only show quizzes. If I do it by student groups, and if I click on all student groups, I can just see the students that I have assigned to certain groups. So those are a lot of the new features in Canvas's new gradebook. If you have any questions about how to use the new gradebook or any sort of Canvas support questions, feel free to visit the Center for Teaching and Learning Innovation on your campus.